Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another FIFA 21 video where today I'm going to be sharing with you what I think, in my opinion, is the most perfect formation in FIFA 21. I think this formation is an absolutely sensational formation because I think it has everything. Now, in terms of FIFA, you need to have a formation that has as many boxes ticked, and I think this is the one, in my opinion, that ticks the most amount of boxes. Now, we do have a sensational team, as you can see on the screen. We do have a fantastic team, and yeah, we've still got a lot of room to improve it and make it better, but having a better team will help, and having better tactics will help. But the most important thing is your skill as a player. So taking this formation, don't just expect miracles, because you need to be obviously good enough to use that formation and exploit it for its best possible use. And that magical formation, so to speak, is the 4-4-1-1. In my opinion, I think it's hard to say this is the best formation, right? Because in my opinion, there's lots of best formations. There's lots of formations that are very good. And as I said before, when you're a good player, every formation can seem good. Now, we do a lot of formation vids on the channel. We have a lot of videos that we cover. And this is a formation that, as you know, we do cover quite a lot because I do think it is a sensational formation. The reason why I think this is the most perfect formation ahead of something like the 4-4-2 or the 4-2-2 is because it has everything. It has a back four, which I think if you want to be successful in FIFA, you need to have. It has a flat midfield, which I think is really important. Sort of two midfielders slash DMs. Now, the guys that I have in there, De Jong and Ballack, can both play CDM. Can both play centre mid, so it's versatile. You know, the way we can set it up, we can be very versatile with the way we set it up. Whereas in a 4-2-2, for example, which is another formation that I think is brilliant, you have to really play it with two CDMs because they start as DMs, so the starting position is a bit deeper. Whereas in this, in a flat midfield, you can really mix and match how you like to play. You can have them sit back, you can have them go forwards because their starting position is much better. It still has plenty of width, and the way we set this formation up, we like to use those wide players as wingers, and we get two strikers as well, which I think is really important. I think formations that have two strikers, I find, are really, really effective in FIFA. I think it's, especially for sort of quick give and goes in and around the box, I think having two strikers that can link up is really important. And looking at it, two banks of four and two strikers up top, it can switch into a 4-4-2 when you're defending, which is a good formation to defend in. It's a good formation to press in. So I think this formation doesn't really have any weaknesses. You know, the only weakness you could point out is the fact that there is no actual center DM, so your opponent's cam will be in that space between De Jong, Tapsoba, Ballack, and Van Dijk. He'll be in that space. But other than that, this formation doesn't really seem to have any issues. It doesn't have any flaws because it's quite hard to break down, and yet it's very, very attacking going forwards. And the way we have it set up tactically is like this. We have the defensive style on balance. The reason why is because, like I said, when we are defending, we want it to be not defensive, but we want it to use the strength of it. The two banks of four make it really hard for your opponents to break down. You know, if playing on a press, for example, you know, players will start to get pulled out of position, and then it can just be easy to play through. If you play on a press, doesn't really matter what formation you play, your players will get pulled apart, and you'll find it really difficult to defend because your players will be all over the place. So I like to stay in balanced for defensive, so I use the strength of the spine of my team. Width, not really too important. I kind of keep that the same for all formations. Depth, this is more your own comfort. How comfortable are you playing? How high are you? You know, how comfortable are you playing the high depth? And for me, 7 is just the number that seems to suit me. I have tried going higher at 8 and 9. I think at team of the season level now, I think it's quite risky because people have such high pacey attackers. Pretty much everybody's got 99 pace attackers. So unless you are playing fullbacks at centre back, playing a really high depth will be a little bit risky. So for me, because I play with Tapsoba and Virgil van Dijk, who are not slow by any means, but they're not the fullback at centre back meta, so I can't afford to play as high. So I like to play on 7. Still gives me comfort in terms of being able to press high up the pitch, but not so high that it's just through ball city, which is obviously the way that everybody likes to counter in this game. In terms of the offensive style, fast build up works super well. Why? Because the two centre mids and the cam and the wingers can all link up really, really well together when they all move in transition up the pitch. And again, because this formation is quite a compact formation, as we've alluded to many times before when making formation videos, formations that are a bit more compact, fast build up works exceptionally well with those formations, and this 4-4-1-1 is one of the best that it works with. Offensive width, we've got all the way wide on 10 because those two left and right mids, because they're not wingers or forwards, it will be really hard to get them involved because their starting position is quite low. So it's going to be really difficult to get them involved in the game. So you may as well use them as decoys. So spread them out. Make sure your left and right mids are, on the touchline so that it's really easy for your team to stretch a compact defense because they have to, get out wide. His left back has to get out wide to go and cover my right midfielder. His right back has to get out to my right mid, and so on and so forth. And that's then going to create space for the fast build up to work in the middle of the pitch. So your two midfielders, De Jong, Ballack, for me, are really, really important to this formation. Very pivotal because they're going to get involved in the play a lot. So you need to have two midfielders that have high stamina, but then have things like good passing and good shooting because they're going to get into some good positions where they can set up teammates. And then players in the box, corners and free kicks, that's just all custom, depending on what you like. Moving on to the instructions, Yashin in goal. What a keeper he is. Comes across as a sweeper keeper, pretty much the same for all of our formations. In terms of the defenders, all of the back four on stay back while attacking. Again, because we have left and right midfielders, you don't really need to send the fullbacks forward because the left and right mids are naturally a little bit deeper because of their starting position. You don't really need the fullbacks to go forwards when those guys are in front. So we can afford to have them on stay back, conservative. And because Cruyff and Aguero are the left and right mid, because they are on 10 width with the tactics, they're going to be touchline. You don't need to have the run type on overlap because they're going to be running on the outside of the pitch. So you want to have them on mixed so that sometimes when Cruyff maybe drifts inside, then Shaw can go outside. And sometimes when Cruyff is wide, that means then Shaw, for example, will go on the inside. So on this occasion, you want them on mixed and conservative interceptions for all the defenders because they can't afford them to be potentially jumping into tackles and missing. And then with the pace that people have up front, you just won't be able to catch up. So I want them on conservative because they are the last line of defense. In terms of Ballack and De Jong, both of those guys are on stay back while attacking, stay on edge of the box because just in case opponents do get a counter, I can make a foul or something with Ballack and De Jong and stop the counter attack. And balanced because they do want them to get forwards and attack. If you have them on stay back while attacking, you will find this formation is probably a little bit too defensive and you'll struggle to create chances. So I like to have them on the balanced attack, and it works much better as well with the fast build up. If you have them balanced, if you stick them on to stay back while attacking, the fast build up won't work as well. In terms of the right and left mid, Cruyff and Aguero, the instructions are exactly the same for Cruyff, as you can see. Balanced width, obviously, because I do want them to be using that 10 width that our tactics say. As we said before, when sometimes Shaw will go forwards, he'll go on the outside, and Cruyff, with being on the balance width, sometimes will drift inside and just link up with De Jong and Messi or Dalglish or whoever, allow Shaw to go on the outside, whilst Cruyff is able to get in on the inside. I want them on getting behind because I do want them to be running in behind. Obviously, I want them to be stretching the pitch horizontally, but also vertically as well. So you make sure you have your left and right midfielders, if they have pace, which obviously you should have at this time of the year, to get in behind so they can do that. And then Messi and Dalglish, both on the same instructions, both on stay central and getting behind. I know some people will like to have these guys on stay forward. And if you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, that's going to be more for a counter-attacking, but this is kind of not really a counter-attacking setup. This is more of a offensive on the front foot setup, hence why I have them on balanced defensive support. So that's the way I would set up this 4-4-1-1. That's the way I'm going to be using it this weekend. I'm going to be using this weekend. So do let me know if you do use this as well, how this goes for you. Because I think this is a fantastic formation. I chop and change between this and the 4-2-2. I just think this one's a bit more of a complete formation. I just think this one has a more complete feel to it. It's just a fantastic formation. And it doesn't really seem to have any weaknesses that I've come across when you play someone who is obviously evenly matched. But make sure you do have a good team. Make sure your tactics are set, and then make sure you're always practicing, because all of those things contribute to your score when it comes to weekend league or just winning matches, not just one individual thing. But that is it for today's video, guys. So if you do enjoy, do drop a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. Join the Discord down below if you're interested in FIFA 21 and getting better, and also for FIFA 22 prep. But that is all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.